Feast of the Incarnation, the winter dance, is important because your friend Cornelia comes from Tamarin.
Yay!
Don't we also have one shut up?
Now, yeah, let's let me walk through what's been going on in the world in the intervening time. After the burning, it was as though the burning of East Side, it was as though vials had been overthrown and dumped out. It's like a mess being made. The fire happened, and then people began dying. The plague. It is simply the plague. There's no certainty of how it is communicated. Best guess is just people to people. Also might have other help, but don't know. The books, but what you have access to gives you a close approximation, but it's not exact. It includes, among other things, it includes swelling of the lymph nodes, gross swelling, and by that I mean large.
Both terms.
Gross swelling of the lymph nodes, hemorrhaging from eyes, nose, and anus. Fever. If you survive the fever, then odds are you survive. But surviving the fever, most people don't. Fatality, for those who fall ill to it, fatality is at least 50%. Now, this is where I actually have to spin this up, spin the story up at this point, because the Christianus estate started out as a refugee camp that then turned double duty as a hospital, and then pretty much leaned into singular duty as a hospital because plague touched it. Plague's touched a lot at this point. It has been spreading across the map of the realm like wildfire, from Berinda, Mon Amour, Berinda in Malacacia. There's so much traffic that heading up the Avara to the Tispa to Bahacia, the capital, is just a matter of a week. And it seems like people grow sick with, the guess is at this point people grow sick with it, but the symptoms don't kick in for about, it could be up to a week. And then when they happen, they're...
Are they contagious before that? Before the symptoms kick in?
Curious.
Not certain.
Oh.
The expectation is yes, because people without symptoms traveled up to Bahacia and then had symptoms. Isolated immediately, but still it got out. The sun is failing. The realm is dying. Outside the walls of Wand, people gathered trying to get food. They knew that there was food in Wand. You could look from across the valley and you could see up on the hill that used to have the Harpstra field, you could see what looked like crystal buildings shining with light, mage lamps that never went out. And you could see plant life there, growing the way it wasn't growing elsewhere. People knew there was food there. And so they gathered around the walls, forbidden to come in, because according to the calculations, everybody that you could feed was already there. And then the plague came. And the people it hit first and hardest were those that were outside the walls starving. You're teaching classes while this is going on. You're laboring in the midst of people that are dying. By the Feast of the Incarnation, the predations of the dragon, which had been focused upon the rail bridges and important rail junctions, had swept from the line that went down from Derexabad and Bluemere to Tamarin eastward. By the Feast of the Incarnation, everything eastward had been hit. And they thought the dragon had left. After the Feast of the Incarnation, after the winter dance, the first strikes westward begin. There have been mages who have attempted to fight the dragon. It did not go well. And the dragon has had no interest in fighting a standing battle, seeking out a contingent of the legion. Seems to have been very happy just destroying infrastructure. But the rivers were still good. You could still move food on the rivers. And so you could still move the plague. So, Feast of the Incarnation comes round. And you feel fine. Yeah, the train, as you know, comes up the Rushwater Valley, and the train station is across the river. And there is, from the train station, there is a bridge that goes to the wall. And so it is possible to move from the walled city to the train station and back again without leaving the protections of the wall. It is cold, it is snowing, and that in many ways is a good thing, because the number of corpses are such that people are having difficulty burying them. And so the cold is at least diminishing the decay.
How many people are still living outside the city?
It's probably down to about 120.
Are we able to use terrestrial magic to make mass graves if we need to?
Yes.
Out there.
You would have to. You have to leave the walls. Mind you, you're having to guard the walls.
We are not opening the doors to go out of the walls. You don't necessarily have to go out if you can see the ground from the wall.
So, do you come?
What are the terms and conditions?
From your father?
Yes.
Your father is, you have, you will be staying under the aegis of the Archmage.
Mm-hmm.
Him and his wife. You will be staying with them.
Oh. Okay. Sorry.
No.
Sorry, Tyrone.
You will be staying for.
Stay with friends.
You are staying for the night. You may go to the feast and the winter dance, and then you go home.
The next day after church?
Yes. You can get church passed in for.
You can get churched while you're here. Wow.
So you go.
I go.
So you leave the hospital behind and all of the plague victims.
And you're going to kill us all.
David, can I, as Ellerina, ask 2 questions? You have, I believe, already told Ellerina your ability.
Mhm.
Have you told her what you know about the plague?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I said, and here's how we could cure it if we had all of this.
But we do.
Using words that don't necessarily make sense.
While
Yeah.
hospitalers, we know, cannot fix the plague, can we tell if someone has it before without necessarily the severe symptoms? Can we sense it in their song?
You can, depending on your degree of success.
Can Ellerina potentially sense the,
Potentially.
okay,
Before the symptoms kicked in, you're dealing with you are one. Okay, let me back that up and start asking questions. Is Ellerina going out and helping plague victims so that she can analyze
no,
and?
she's not. I'm more curious if
Then it's all
Christianus
theoretic.
has actually made the request to allow a daughter in who has been surrounded by plague victims to the elder hospitaler. She's the one that's going to have to certify that she can come in as healthy.
It looks like you guys are watching a tennis match.
So I'm curious how much she can work with to fulfill that
She
request.
theoretically,
Yeah. Because she has not gone out and worked with the plague victims.
Yeah.
She has not allowed a single hospitaler to go out.
No, I'm paranoid.
But
by
I
the
have
way,
to
some of your
have those.
hospitalars can't come back anymore.
Yeah.
Most notably, Harper, your former teacher.
No.
She has been serving as the hospitaler at the Christianus estate. And therefore, due to her exposure, you probably wouldn't have left her back either.
So my question is more, does he actually make the request so that we know that she's
He,
coming?
he does make the, yeah, he
Okay.
does.
So then her question would actually go to Harper, who has been working with them. Obviously, it would not give her experience, but it would give her at least information. Because otherwise, she's not gonna.
It is difficult to say. You might have the harm to the song is easy to identify, but it's holistic. That's why you can't heal it. You can't fix it because it's all one big hole, and it more feels like the song is going mad. Harper has gotten good at being able to perceive what she calls precursors. But that's because she's being exposed every day.
My question was more, are there things, disturbances in the song from it before you see symptoms?
Yes.
Can I get Harper to check me out before I leave?
Yes. Harper checks you out, and at the time that you leave, she perceives no precursors.
Metagaming shouldn't change anything. You have no precursors. What do you do?
I go see my boy.
Yay.
Yeah.
I
Oh.
met her at the gate and check for any disturbances of any kind in her song.
Wrong.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be plague. She can have any illness that I'm looking for. But
Do you have a vaccine passport?
Oh, you must
I
show
am
your
Cornelia
COVID
Christianus.
That's
Would you like to rephrase that question?
I rolled a 4,
For
23
4,
as
23.
Ellerina. I'm looking for any disturbance whatsoever in the song.
you do not perceive any precursor. You don't. When you look at her song, actually, give me a
I'm looking for
Constitution.
Let me
any,
get my.
I'm
Yeah.
like, do you have a
Anything at
cold?
all.
Do you have
No.
anything?
I was not prepared to
Are you
roll dice today.
Yeah.
13.
13.
What's your Constitution?
12.
She has a cold.
She may have a cold, a slight cold that she doesn't even notice. Could you give me a Constitution check as well?
Me?
Yes.
I rolled a 12.
I know, but
What is it?
Well, I don't know what her current constitution is, but way back in the day she had a 13. But I don't know what her constitution is.
You would estimate that she may have a slight cold.
Do we have capacity to heal colds?
Nobody has.
Can we heal the common cold?
No!
Let me know how that works out for you. Want to roll a critical?
Sure, because I never do. Well, probably not. It was a 619.
I was just going to say, roll critical. Oh, 102. Right, no, you failed. You can't cure the common cold. But no, you can't. You have not, in 400 years, you have not figured out how to cure the common cold.
Okay. Cornelia, you seem to have some illness that I can detect. I do not have the skills for this particular thing as Hospitaler Harper. But because I don't, I cannot do anything but be extra cautious.
What does extra cautious mean?
It means I cannot let you into the city.
I make a call
just
to the
used-
Archmage.
Oh,
Ring, ring on the phone.
Oh, you didn't see that coming.
ring ring on the Archmage
On the-
phone.
Sarlo here.
Of the color.
Hello, Archmage Sarlo. Travel's going well. Train's on time. I've just arrived in Wand. Elder Hospitaller Ellarina has halted me at the station. She says I have a cold.
Actually, I said you have an illness of some sort. I did not say specify.
She thinks I may have the common cold.
That's not what I said.
That's what Cornelia
I
says.
have a sniffle.
So if you're doing this in front of the Ellarina.
Yes, you are.
So she can correct you if she wants.
She doesn't. She just
Okay.
looks at you.
All right.
Click.
Oh.
Ring, ring on the halo phone.
Yes.
In your judgment, you believe that she may be carrying the plague?
In my judgment, she has some illness that I cannot specify. Because I do not know what I am looking for, I cannot say for sure what it is.
I appreciate the overabundance of caution.
Mm-hmm.
But
Can you promise me that by leaving her out, you will not, the plague will not enter our walls?
No.
What exactly are you gaining me?
We do not know how it spreads. If no one comes in at all, that is our greatest likelihood of not having it come in. I was willing to make a singular exception for our Hallant Knight leader. My recommendation as the leading medical professional in this town is not to let her or any others in at this point. If we find any illness of any kind in them that we do not have the capacity to identify. However, if you prefer to let her in, that is your choice, not mine.
I'm not going to overrule the elder hospitaller of the realm, and you well know that, in matters of medicine. Can we have her spend the night at the station and see if the situation has changed in the morning?
If you wish to put her in those accommodations. Don't know what other ones there are, though.
I don't think we have any others, unless you have some that come to mind.
Not anymore. I'm willing to check again in the morning.
Make arrangements, please. Ring, ring on the halo phone. You've heard that you've heard at least one side of that conversation. He says, "I am not going to overrule the elder hospitaller of the realm. I suggest that you spend the night with the best arrangements that we can make in the station, and she re-examine you in the morning."
Thank you. And I call my father.
Oh.
Calling your boss, I'm calling your boss's boss. I'm calling my
It's not
boss's
even
boss.
just that, it's like she's literally stuck outside the city with
Like, I was supposed to stay at his house.
like where is she supposed to go? So.
He's leaving me at the train station now. How do I deal with this?
Yeah.
You've been running a hospital and you can't figure out how to sleep in a train station?
That's not the problem.
No.
It's the fact that he is leaving me to sleep in the train station.
There are people outside in the snow. I just point that out.
By the way,
Dead people.
for lack of a better, there is a homeless encampment that you can see on the far side of the river.
Oh, you can stay with them.
Oh, nice.
The playground outside of the city.
And we'll see how you are in the morning.
So I call my
You
father.
call your father, and your father answers.
Hello. Update on the travel. I arrived at the station in Wand, and Elder Hospitlar Ellerina examined me and did not approve my entrance to Wand. So the Archmage has made arrangements for me to stay at the station overnight.
That's inconvenient.
Hospitlar Harper examined me before I left and didn't find anything troubling.
I'll speed things along. There's a couple of phone calls, but it does boil down to the fact there is a trio of individuals. There is a triumvirate in the wand in the realm, composed of the Archmage, the Elder Hospitlar, and the Elder Pallet Knight. That triumvirate each has its spheres of authority. Right now, Ellerina is sitting deep at the heart of her sphere of authority. And both men know it.
Really want to bring the travels of one girl to the attention of the High King to overrule his most senior hospitaller.
Yeah,
That is what it boils down to.
The
Yeah.
question then
that is not going to
It
happen.
doesn't sound good.
posed to her father then is, should she stay at the station and she describes the station and what she can see from the station, or should I?
They do. I mean, the station does include. I mean, the quarters aren't going to be.
It's not the bench on the platform.
No. You will actually be sleeping inside in a bed.
Just checking.
You will be in far better accommodations than those that your father and the Legion of the Realm are currently experiencing on the front, which you have seen and experienced.
Yeah.
So,
It's just annoying when you're going through this in a place that you once thought of as home.
Mm-hmm. And the whole excuse for being there is the dance, which she will now miss.
Right.
I was supposed to stay one night.
I'll just go home.
Feast of the Incarnation is tomorrow.
All right.
Still potentially see Gregory
Yeah.
at the next day.
Yeah. So I'll stay in the station.
And any other friends that you
Any other friends that I might be allowed to see? 17.
Could you give me
I got another 4.
whatever it is that you perceived the previous day? Her immune system has killed overnight. It is early.
Yeah, you see her visibly like, I do not know what it was yesterday, but it is gone today. And I would be delighted to see you at church today and celebrate the Incarnation. I'm truly sorry.
I understand completely, and I'm sorry for giving you grief about it.
I understand. And thank you for serving in something that you were not expected to do as a hospital.
Feast of the Incarnation. You are there for church. The feast is afterwards.
That's how I became a
We
Christian.
see you.
Yes.
Cornelia is sitting in her spot.
I run to her. I throw my arms around.
He is very closely followed by others, including
Yes. There's a line.
We're all like,
Yeah.
coming up.
Alicia has been calling you and having you listen to church every Sunday.
Yes.
So
We have
At
been
least,
doing
so
that.
she's very excited to see
We've
her.
been Skyping church from her.
Yeah, through Mantle Halo. I've been getting her to church every Sunday.
If that's happening,
Can I be sitting there, like, I would be able to be like, hi, Cornelia. Like, all this time?
Can somebody else talk to people through your Mantle phone?
If you alter it so that she can hear what's going on around, so she can hear the
Oh,
sermon.
yes,
By definition.
So
So
yeah,
we've been saying hi every Sunday.
yes. So yeah, everything you can hear everybody else singing and
Yay.
To no one in particular. Hi, Cornelia.
So
Everyone say hi to who? You don't. Shh.
That's
Doesn't
irrelevant.
matter.
Hi, irrelevant.
Oh.